and Luke. Eli is involved on our basketball, football, and track teams. Outside of school, he enjoys lifting and fishing. He has plans to be a fireman. Thank you, Eli. Eli wants to give a shout out to Coach Lindsay, his middle school basketball coach. He has pushed him and helped him grow into who he is today. He never gave up on him. He has spent a lot of time after practice in the gym working on his shooting. Thank you for all that you've done for me, Coach. Next, give a warm welcome to our sophomore attendant, Miss Lily Morgenstern. Lily is the daughter of Josh and Kristen. She has one brother, Carter. Lily participates in cheerleading for Centerburg High School. Outside of school, Lily enjoys spending time with her teammates and friends. Her future plans are to attend college at OSU for cheerleading and nursing. Give her a round of applause for our sophomore attendant, Lily Morgenstern. Lily wants to give a shout out to staff member Tanya Folk, as Mrs. Folk impacted her education by always being supportive to her. She has made sure that she stayed on task in class. Mrs. Folk would always take extra time out of her day to help anyone, even if it wasn't algebra. She's very generous and hardworking. She has impacted her in so many ways, and she couldn't be more thankful. Thank you, Mrs. Folk. Next, our sophomore attendant is being escorted by running back number 3, Miles Marshall. Miles is the son of Donnell and Debbie Marshall. He has 3 sisters, Lila, Amani, and Brooklyn, and 2 brothers, Donnell and Chris. In addition to football, he plays both track and basketball. He enjoys hanging out with friends and family, along with playing video games. He has future plans for himself to attend the Knox County Career Center. He later plans to move to North Carolina to live with additional family and to construct and develop houses. Miles gives a shout out to Mrs. Folk for always being nice to him last year when he was a freshman. Mrs. Folk was great at keeping him caught up in his work even when he couldn't stay at his desk. He says, "You are the best. Thank you, Mrs. Folk." Please welcome our 2024 junior attendant, Miss Madeline Richardson. Madeline is the daughter of Stephen and Carrie Richardson. Madeline has one brother, Quentin. Madeline also participates in many sports activities within the school, including volleyball, track, and soccer. In her spare time, she enjoys shopping and going out with friends. Her future plans are to obtain a job in the medical field. Congratulations, Madeline. Madeline wants to give a shout out to Mr. Stoyle. Mr. Stoyle has not only been a great teacher, but also taught her many things, including to always be confident in herself. She has shown her that even when she thinks she can't do something, she always can. He always believes into her, sometimes more than she does herself. She says, "Thank you, Mr. Stoyle, for always being there for me." Junior attendant Miss Madeline Richardson is being escorted this evening by center and linebacker number 54, Hagen Bryant. Hagen is the son of Phil and Joanna Bryant. He has a sister, Megan Bryant. He is involved in our varsity football team and ski club. Outside of school, he enjoys hunting and fishing. He plans to study marine biology and/or environmental science. Thank you, Hagen. Hagen wants to give a shout out to Mrs. Folk. Mrs. Folk has been a great influence on him academically and personally. She always makes sure that he completes his work. She stays after school hours weekly to tour him and other students. She often tells him that he's her strongest link. He says, "Thank you, Mrs. Folk." Making her way to the front of the stands is our first senior attendant, Miss Elena Joring. She is the daughter of Eric and Jamie Joring, and she has 2 sisters, Eva and Ella. Elena participates on our high school cheerleading team. She will be graduating early and will start at Florida Gulf Coast University this January. She will major in nursing and plans to go on to achieve an MD and become a pediatric oncologist. Elena says, I would like to shout out Mrs. Christy Adams. Christy is not a teacher, but she has taught me many things such as compassion, how to stand up for myself and others, and to be true to myself. She has been such a light in my life, especially during this cheer season. She always puts a smile on my face and brightens my day. Christy, I love you and you rock. Elena Jordan is being escorted by number 13 and running back Isaiah Sully. Isaiah is the son of Bethany Smith. His sister, Isabella, is a third grader at Centerburg Elementary. Isaiah is also on the basketball team. He enjoys spending time with friends and playing video games and watching Instagram Reels. Isaiah has plans for himself to attend a college and obtain a career in his interests. Thank you, Isaiah. Isaiah wants to give a shout out to Mrs. Purdy. Mrs. Purdy always opens her room to have lunch. She never gives up on me and always pushes me to do my best. Thank you, Mrs. Purdy. Our second senior attendant is Miss Avery Glenn. Avery is the daughter of Bo and Heather Glenn. She is an older sister, Kennedy. Avery participates on the girls' golf team. In her spare time, she enjoys hanging out with friends and family. Her future, while undecided, she does know that she plans to play golf in college. Avery wants to give a shout out to a staff member that's impacted her. Avery wants to recognize her father, Bo Glenn. She says, he has been by my side since day one, through good and bad. He is always encouraging and knows what is best for me. He makes me laugh when I need it most. He is always there when I need something and provides it, even when it may be unnecessary. My dad is the reason I am who I am, and I am proud to call him my father. Escorting senior Miss Avery Glenn is Heath Merklin, number 5, who is our outside linebacker. He is the son of Matt and Jennifer Merklin. He has a sister, Brianna, and 2 brothers, Evan and Skylar. Heath is our current student council president and a member of our football team. Outside of school, he enjoys riding his quads and hanging out with friends. His favorite sports teams are Michigan State and the Raiders. For his future plans, Heath has plans to attend Ohio University and obtain a career as a sportsbook analyst, sports broadcaster to be a play-by-play commentator. Thank you, Heath.
Well, we're 2 games out as the magic number.
Heath wants to give a shout out to Mrs. Minks. Mrs. Minks has done a great job at starting student council this year. She stays on track with the members and manages the club great. She has took off time with me practicing my speeches and planning my future goals. It is now time to present our 2024 homecoming mascots. First is Miss Bryn Smith. Bryn is the daughter of Donald Smith and Sarah Schoonover. Bryn is in 1st grade and is in Miss Compton's class. Bryn enjoys gymnastics, dance, and Girl Scouts. At home, she has 2 siblings, Caleb and Graham, along with 2 dogs, Arlo and Izzy. Bryn has future plans to be a cheer coach for Centerburg someday when she grows up. Congratulations, Bryn. Secondly, we have Grady Moore. Grady is the son of Jimmy and Stephanie Moore. Grady is in the 2nd grade and in Mrs. Taylor's class. At home, Grady has 8 siblings, Jacqueline, Allison, Lexi, Magnolia, Colton, Carter, and Jameson. Grady also has 3 dogs, Rocco, Penny, and Petrie. Grady has plans to be, in his free time, he enjoys baseball, wrestling, fishing, soccer, and gaming. Grady has plans to be a police officer when he grows up someday. Congratulations, Grady. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our 2024 homecoming queen is senior Miss Kayla Farrell. Kayla is the daughter of Chuck Farrell, who is a U.S. Air Force veteran, and Angela Farrell, who is a nurse practitioner. She is a younger sister, Charlie Grace. Kayla participates in many extracurricular activities, including softball, FFA, and she is a state record holder in powerlifting. Kayla enjoys spending time at the gym. Her future plans include playing college softball at Otterbein University while studying elementary education. Kayla wants to give a shout out to staff member Mr. Weed. She says, "He has shown me immense support ever since my mom was diagnosed with cancer. He serves as my biggest mentor and always does whatever he can to help me. I can talk to him about anything, and he will always be there for me. One of my favorite memories with him is the drive back from the state forestry contest my junior year. He let me straighten my hair in the back of his truck for homecoming. He has such a big heart and has greatly impacted my life." Escorting Kayla is senior Jack Lawrence, number 24. He is our tight end and defensive end. Jack's parents are Darren and Dawn Smith. He has one sister, Ella, who is a freshman. Jack plays on our varsity basketball team as well. Jack currently works here at Centerburg High School as an assistant facility manager. Outside of school, Jack enjoys fishing, swimming, and spending time with friends and family. Jack has future plans to attend the Fire Academy and then paramedic school. Thank you, Jack. Jack has a shout out to Bo Glenn. He says he has been a good partner to roll with. Bo is a great coach and mentor. Bo takes time out of his day to have gatherings and develops great staff and student relationships. Bo has Max Aura and Riz. Congratulations to our 2024 homecoming court. Please welcome Miss Riley Schneider to the microphone. Riley was last year's senior attendant.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here on behalf of Stella Weisbrod, who won Queen last year. She could not make it this evening because she's killing it out in Florida on the classroom and on the court. So she wanted to give you guys her speech through me. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry I can't be here to give this speech, but know that I'm always cheering on Centerburg all the way from Florida. This school and community will always hold a special place in my heart, and I am forever grateful for the experiences I have from being a Trojan. Being crowned your queen last year was such an incredible honor. Your love and support meant the world to me. I will never forget the feeling of being appreciated by my special community. While the title is an honor, what matters most is the kindness and support we can show others. I am so excited to have the privilege of crowning Kayla as our new queen. She shows grace and kindness to everyone around her, works extremely hard in all of her pursuits, and certainly makes a positive impact in our community. I am so happy she will be the one to carry on this beautiful tradition. Congratulations to all our candidates as well. You are all truly amazing. Thank you for your time, and go Trojans!
Please welcome our queen, Kayla Farrell, to the microphone.
Here, hold her umbrella. Oh, Lord. All right. Take a breath. Take a breath.
Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh. My name is Kayla Farrell, and I am so grateful to be up here standing with these wonderful attendants and escorts. It has been such a blessing growing up with my classmates since kindergarten, and I can't believe we are finally seniors. During my time at Centerburg, I have learned that the best version of yourself is being who you truly are. If you know me personally, I am a quiet, soft-spoken person. However, when I come out of my shell, I'm a loud, energetic, and competitive athlete. I found that it is very important to just be you. Always be kind, generous, and loving. Now I would like to thank those who have greatly impacted my life. Number 1, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Number 2, my family, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, grandmas, and grandpas. I couldn't imagine life without you. Thank you. My friends, Jackson Ballinger, for always being there for me and putting a smile on my face. Harley, Chesney, Josie, Olivia, and Julia for always having my back. My youth pastors, Spencer and Abby Brewster, for guiding me in my spiritual journey. All of my coaches, including my dad, for making softball more than just a sport. Jack, for being kind enough to escort me and letting me not fall on my heels. Elena and Avery, you both are beautiful inside and out, and I know you have great futures ahead. Last but not least, thank you, Centerburg, for the support and all the wonderful years living here. Now let's cheer on our Trojans and have ourselves a great ball game. God bless and go Trojans! Woo!
Clearing the field to prepare for the big game, Liza is being escorted off the field by her parents, Brian and Jamie Clayton. Lily is being escorted off the field by her parents, Josh and Kristen. Madeline is being escorted off the field by her parents, Stephen and Carrie. Our mascots are being escorted off the field by their parents. Elena is being escorted by her mother, Jamie. Avery is being escorted by her parents, Bo and Heather. And Kayla is being escorted off the field by her parents, Chuck and Angela. This concludes tonight's homecoming festivities. Thank you to everyone in attendance. Time for the game. Good luck to the Pirates, and let's go Trojans!
Fans, it is time, and we are braving the elements so you don't have to. An absolute torrential downpour here in Centerburg, Ohio at Centerburg High School, where they will be taking on the Cardington Pirates. Both teams looking for position late into the season in this competitive KMAC conference. Stay with us for the pregame show coming up next.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, The Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Picking up new hobbies such as cooking is another manly way to avoid depression and reduce stress. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make my world-famous guaco mahogany. First, mash up 5 or 6 of these green things. Then add hot sauce, this lettuce stuff, these red things, salt, some of this stuff, and limes, and finally, bacon to taste. Delicious.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Let's go. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now.
Football fans, are you ready? Joining you live for the Morrow County Hospital Ohio Health pregame show. I'm joined in the booth by a Micah Flack. Always does a great job. Welcome, Micah.
Thank you for having me, and what an opportunity for both of these teams tonight, and especially on a very, very rainy day.
Can't miss it. At puddles all up and down the field. Let's go ahead and take a look at our team spotlight for the Cardington Pirates. In this season, they are 2-3, looking for their first KMAC victory of the season. And with that, they defeated Bucyrus 46-8, losing to Fredericktown 18-45, East Knox 22-49. Looking at some of the stats here, 244 passing yards on the season, 15 for 36 completion, just over 1,000 rushing yards, 15 rushing TDs, a passing TD, and 1 INT, so at least able to hold on to the ball. Defensively, they're looking at 35 tackles for a loss, 12 sacks, 2 INTs, 8 forced fumbles, but they are allowing about 400 yards per game, a bit of a sore spot there. Let's take a look at our player spotlight for the Cardington Pirates, and it's none other than Wyatt Denny. Wyatt Denny, the sophomore running back. He is averaging about 9.8 yards per carry, 8 rushing touchdowns, and 61.5 tackles on the defensive end. They really rely on him on that defensive front.
And you need Wyatt Dane to be productive. We talked about it a little bit, the rain. It has poured here in Centerburg. 9.8 yards per carry is going to be huge in a game like tonight.
Now let's take a look at our keys to victory for the Cardington Pirates. For them, it's going to be emphasize the physicality and then that front 7 pressure, exerting that 3-5-3 that we see so much at the high school level. Really pushing that point home, especially with the rain. You're going to have to keep it on the ground quite a bit.
And you're going to have to be very up front in the trenches. Like you said, front 7 pressure. You have to make sure that offensive line collapse and not allow the Trojans to go anywhere running the ball.
So we are getting ready to kick things underway. We will intermittently bring you the home team spotlight and those player spotlights as well. Ran short a little bit with the homecoming festivities. And the kickoff is underway. A mess, just trying to get them on the ground, and finally they do, right around the 28-yard line. So taking a look at this home team spotlight for Centerburg Trojans. So far this season, they're 3-2, 1-1 in the KMAC. Last year, they were able to secure a 21-0 road victory over Cardington. 233 passing yards, 159 rushing yards, 392 total yards, and only 181 yards against 2 forced fumbles. So they were really able to exert their will last season, as we see from the stats.
And they were exactly able to do that, and they're going to look to do that again. You have a very dynamic quarterback in Blaine Ball, who has rushed for over 300 yards and has also thrown the ball for over 700.
So putting a man in motion, they snap it off with the pitch. Looking for an in. There's a flag in the backfield and a huge slide.
Chris Marshall on the carry.
And Chris Marshall on the carry. And it looks like it might be holding. They're already moving them back. You can see the flag in the backfield. And it was a good run, a good option to the near side just to be able to pick up some yardage. And that's going to be huge for the Trojans. But also in a game like this, Bryce, the penalties even more important. We saw during the warm-ups, the ball is coming out very slimy, and it's just not really getting to the receiver as well. So when you get backed up in these long yardage situations, it's going to be tough to get that first down through the air.
Definitely so. Let's take a look at our home player spotlight. You were already talking about him, but Blaine Ball for the Trojans been excellent so far this season. In last game against Loudonville, he had 2 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, and 2 tackles for a loss, so contributing in big ways to secure that win for his squad. Fakes the handoff to one man, but turns it over to Miles Marshall, who was brought down after a pickup of a couple, still trying to get back to that original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd down.
And there's a lot of options, especially on the ground game for Centerburg, in a game where it's a lot of rain. We'll continue to talk about that. Miles Marshall, Isaiah Souls, and Blaine Ball all over 300 rushing yards or 200, and that'll be key for tonight.
So my apologies. 2nd and 12 on this play here. Ball puts a wide receiver in motion. Trevin Harris runs in front. It's a shovel pass forward, looking for a hole to get through. Shakes one man off with the spin move, gets across the first down marker and continues to push now into Pirate territory. They can't bring him down, stays on his feet, and finally brought down inside enemy territory around the 35-yard line.
And a great job just bunting through all of the defenders and just able to get past the Pirates, and a huge play on what looked to be a gainage of no yards, maybe 1 or 2, converts into a big gain.
So taking a look at those keys to victory for the Centerburg Trojans in our Morrow County Hospital pregame show. One of them is kind of nullified by the rain. They want to have discipline up front. They want to stop those penalties, but they were probably going to look to expand on that ground game as much as possible. Going to have to rely on the ground if they want to be successful, as there's a tackle in the backfield.
And they'll have to be successful on the ground, and that's exactly where you want to be. Take a look at the replay. It was a design QB draw, as no one was there to get the linebacker. Comes right up the middle, and a great tackle for a loss of 1.
So it brings up 2nd and 11. Ball on the Pirate 37-yard line. So able to get Trevin Harris some big yardage on the jet sweep, this time handing it off to Miles Marshall, who's brought down after a healthy pickup of about 5 or 6.
And Bryce, you expect to see the clock wind down a lot during this game. You're not going to really see a lot of those 30, 40-yard gains, especially through the air. You're probably not going to see a very long touchdown unless it's on the ground. Both of these teams are going to look to run the ball a lot tonight.
Conditions playing into this game as well. I mean, just able to hold on the ball. We saw in the warm-ups the quarterbacks really struggling to get any sort of grip, and especially out of the gun. That can make a difference. Hands it off once again to Marshall, and he's just a few yards short of the first down marker. It'll bring up 4th down.
And you're going to go for this here. You're spotted right at the 28-yard line about, and you're in what would be field goal range if it wasn't a downpour.
Yeah. So now ball with Marshall on his right hip and 2 wide receivers. 2 men in the slot, puts 2 men in motion. The snap rolls out towards his right. He's going to take it himself across the line of scrimmage. Cardington doesn't think they have it, but of course Centerburg thinks they do. We'll see how they rule it, and they do rule it a first down.
First down, Trojans.
And you get right to the line to gain. Just a little bit of a dive forward for Blaine Ball, and it picks up the first down.
And now we have a flag as coach for Cardington is all the way on the field. And he's a statue right now, now taking a few steps.
And just demanding an explanation from the officials, just trying to figure out what is going on. As the officials just look things over, just deciding what to call on the field, and they're gonna spot the ball and see where the chain is at.
Todd Lately, Anthony Maddox, the chain gang.
Pulling out the chains.
Oh,
and they say
he might be short by a chain, Bryce.
And I think they will spare, I haven't seen a signal yet, but I think they'll spare the Cardington sideline of the unsportsmanlike conduct and just give them the sideline warning. They're still discussing.
I don't really know what's left to discuss, Bryce. You bring out the chains. He's either short or he's not short when you measure it.
So they will rule it a turnover on downs as the Zebras disperse.
And that's big momentum shift in favor of Cardington early in this first quarter. Centerburg, one of the best teams in the first quarter, scoring over 42 points in the quarter. And now you turn it right over to Cardington. They get 2 yards, but they're a hair length short, about a chain, as the Pirates will now take over.
Definitely a no-brainer to go for it there. Heartbreaker to come up that short, but fortunately, the Pirates will have a long way to go. Pirates trying to get this offense going for the first time tonight. All right, ready to play football one more time.
And just right when you said we're ready to play football, they adjust everything. The ball's still spotted correctly, but...
And we're back. Journey Williamson puts a man in motion, but he runs into it, just falling on top of it. Huge miscommunication as the snap goes straight into the legs of Kalen Briggs.
And Kalen Briggs lucky to get back on that. Looked like they were trying to do a reverse and end around play. Kalen Briggs coming from the far side to the near side was going to take the handoff, and that ball is very slippery as it just continues to hit the turf and get on the ground. So the center really has to try to grip it as tight as possible and get it back to the quarterback safely.
I think that one might have been a miscommunication of timing. I mean, it went right into his legs as he was crossing over, just handing it off to Denny this time, who tries to find an option out towards the left. He'll pick up maybe a yard, but it'll bring up second down all the same.
And that'll be a tough play to bring up the third down. So you pick up a 4 on the rush, but that first down miscommunication sets you back 4 yards. In a game like this, as we continue to say, the rain going to play a factor. As we look at the radar, it was showing that it would end sometime probably in the second or halftime, according to AccuWeather, but who knows? Mother Nature might have something else to say about it.
Trying to find a way forward, a flag. Takes them a lot of time to rule that down. Looks like they're going to call, looks like a face mask against Centerburg.
Because of that, that's a free first down. And we'll move them all the way past the chains on a play that the Trojans had them in the backfield, but because of a face mask, will immediately give them the new set of downs. And that's an unfortunate turn for the Trojans. They would have had the Pirates pinned deep in their own territory going on 4th down.
I think as the Trojans, you just got to decide enough is enough, right? You got to play clean and disciplined football here. These penalties are killer for them this season. Denny stays on his feet, but he can't hold on to the football. Trojans fall on top of it.
A flag thrown. Or it was the wrong flag. It was a yellow flag, but then immediately picked up, just popped out of the running back's hands. You can see just went for the legs and was able to get back to the ball in time. And a great job by Centerburg.
Teddy Steigler, the senior, was able to come up with the tackle and the recovery there.
And you know the ball is slippery, Bryce. We continue to mention it. You just have to hold on to it with 2 hands, really grip that. I assume that's what's going to be talked about on the sideline. It's like, hey, just got to really hold on to that.
Easier said than done, I'm sure, though. So now ball will take over. First down on the Pirate 46-yard line as they hand it off to Marshall. Marshall fights forward, a pickup of about 5. Bring up second and medium.
Centerburg just completely flipping the script. Gets a quick 5-yard run, just cuts it to the outside, back up to the middle, and a good 5-yard chunk. That's exactly what you want to see. Just those chunk plays move down the field.
That's, I think a lot of people, they think about football and they think about the big plays, but truly good football teams, they earn 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, and it's so hard to stop that efficiency. And another pitch to Chris Marshall, who's leveled in the backfield.
And a great job by the middle linebacker. Wyatt Denny just comes right up through the middle. You can see he's just coming on the blitz. No one blocks him. It was immediately there for the tackle for loss. A great job by the linebacker.
So it brings up 3rd and 9 on the Pirate 40. And, I mean, this is exactly what we were talking about in the pregame, right? If Cardington's going to be successful defensively, it's got to come from that front 7, especially in a game like this where the run matters so much. Ball now alone in the backfield, has 3 wide receivers, puts a man in motion, fakes the handoff to Marshall, takes it himself up the middle, gets the first down and more, finally wrestled down. around the 24-yard line, so threatening to knock on the door of Pirate territory.
And Blaine Ball, one of your best runners, goes right up the middle, finally tackled in that second level. But Blaine Ball has 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards on the ground coming into tonight, about 5 yards a carry. And you just have to always constantly watch him.
Now with a whole host of receivers, been putting a lot of men in motion. Not this time, though. Ends up handing it off to Miles Marshall. Miles Marshall wrapped up around the knees and brought down for a pickup of about 4.
Another job by Wyatt Denny, just coming off, looking to the left, gets past the left tackle and the left guard, just makes the shoestring tackle.
Look how much splash on that on the sideline. That's ridiculous. That's the beauty of football. Unless there's thunder or lightning, unless there's imminent danger looming, they're playing.
If they score, you got to go for the slip and slide celebration.
Oh, absolutely. Hands it off to Miles Marshall, who I believe will pick up the first down. If not, he's just inches away from it.
James Bradley, the defensive end, right there on the first contact, goes right up the middle. We'll get a quick pickup, just very close, just a yard away on the 4-yard rush.
So 3rd and 1 scenario. Would be a heartbreaker to lose 2 turnovers on possession this one, but they feel good on offense. The snap, hands it off to Marshall. He indeed does get the first down and more. He's all the way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Trojans.
And Miles Marshall just finds the crease. A great job by Ball in the misdirection. Just hands it up the middle, bursts through the hole, and a great job as Marshall picks up his 7th touchdown of the year.
Already a great number, 6 games so far, able to stay in every single one of them. It's great efficiency there.
7th touchdown of the year on the ground. His 8th touchdown overall.
Now lining up for the extra point. It's up and it's no good. So the score will stay 6-0. Centerburg leading Cardington. Stay with us.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more. Every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Coming back to you for the kickoff to Cardington after the Centerburg touchdown came from Miles Marshall on a 26-yard rush. Cardington will take over around the 24-yard line. They'll have a long way to go.
And a great job by Centerburg. Has already ran the ball over 10 times in this first quarter alone, has yet to attempt a pass, and it's worked well so far for them.
Yeah, I mean, we were taking a look at the stat sheet and just nickel and diming their way upfield, and I think you said it right. That's going to be the story of tonight's game. Who can do that better? Who can nickel and dime their way upfield? You know you're going to slip. You know you might not hang on to the ball every single possession. Try to minimize mistakes. So now the snap. That play blown up in the backfield. Denny will fight to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And Denny is going to have to play an important role in this game. We talked about in the pregame. 9 8.8 yards a carry on this season. You expect him to rip off some chunk plays, but if you're Centerburg, just being able to hold him, keep everything in front of you will be important against the physical running back.
And to his credit, I mean, aside from the fumble at the end of that play, that was a very healthy run where he was moving confidently forward. If he would have shaken that tackle, it probably would have been into the end zone. Unfortunately, just the mistake there. Denny ends up taking it himself out of the Wildcat, jumps forward, picks up about 3.
A quick third down already as the Trojans just continuing to go from field to field, go all the way over. The defensive line shifts and just able to get the tackle on the far side. So now it's 3rd down and 9 after a pickup of 2.
So now as both sides make substitutions, we'll take a look at the personnel. Cardington with 5 linebackers, pushing that dog pile and able to blow it up. So it'll bring up a 4th down, likely punt with how deep they are into Trojan territory.
You see the punt team come out, and like you said, you just can't risk anything in a game like today. And it's going to be interesting to see how the special teams play, especially with the ball being slippery. Can they get it off the foot correctly?
So just sent their 11th man on the field. Minute 36 in running to the punter. He has trouble. It's straight into a man, into the back of the end zone. Oh, he falls on top of it right at the goal line. So best case scenario there for the Trojans. Punter instantly realizing that he was in trouble there, but nowhere for him to go.
And Jackson Ballinger there just jumped up as the ball just runs right into the chest, goes all the way back. And a great job by Centerburg. We talked about it right before the punt, special teams.
That'll they'll roll him down on the 3-yard line. So just 9 feet away from the Pirate end zone after the block. Trojans feeling good, but Pirates knowing they have to put up a stonewall defense here. Ball, the snap, it's into the rear end of the center and onto the ground. Ball just falls right on top of it. Rule it down. It'll probably be a loss. Yeah, it's a loss of 2 there.
And a great job by Ball just to fall on it. Doesn't try to go for the ball, pick it up, and do a play. Just knows where it is and where they're at. Just falls on it, keeps it alive, and only backs them up 2.
So 2nd and 5. They avoid disaster there. Hands it off, looks like, to Miles Marshall, and he'll have his 2nd touchdown of the evening.
Touchdown, Trojans.
Miles Marshall with the 5-yard rush makes it 12-0.
And who else but to give it to Miles Marshall, his 9th touchdown overall, his 8th on the ground. He goes to the left, breaks off a tackle, and barrels his way into the end zone.
So lining up for the PAT, 56 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Kick is up, and it's through this time. So score sitting at 13-0. Centerburg feeling good as they head towards the second quarter. Stay with us.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
So just about to kick things underway, but the ball flew off the tee, so we'll reset. So a pair of touchdowns now for Miles Marshall as he has made his presence known early on in this ball game. Only a sophomore, 6 foot, 160 pounds, and using that agility to his advantage here tonight. The bright side, the rain has slowed down a little bit to just a trickle. And kicker slips, ends up finding a blocker in front, and finally brought down right around the 23-yard line.
Williamson on the return, tackled by Chris Marshall.
Just the momentum of that kick took the kicker right to his rear end.
And Chris Marshall there to make the tackle. The all do it running back, and it's very slippery, as we've said multiple times. The feet just coming out underneath you as you fall. You can just see the huge amounts of water coming off the field.
Yeah, it's like every single step you see the water splashing up along these sidelines. I mean, that's at least an inch or two of standing water where the players are standing. That's pure mud at this point. And looks like Denny will pick up a few yards.
And just tries to go up towards the right side. But the Centerburg defense has been very physical at the line of scrimmage. And Cardington has to figure out a way to get by it. They only have rushes of 4, -1, 2, and 2 so far. They haven't had a lot of opportunities on either of their drives. But eventually, you're going to have to try some misdirection, maybe even a throw to get past this Trojans defense.
Denny pushing his way forward, following a couple of blockers, finally brought down. And it'll be a first down and more. So finally, some signs of life from this offense, as you can hear it from this Cardington crowd as well.
And you just feed the beast, as he is one of the best running backs in the KMAC coming into tonight, a 16-yard pickup.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
And that brings it into the first quarter. Centerburg leading this one 13-0 over Cardington. We'll have second quarter action for you coming up next.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Back to you in the beginning of the second quarter as they conclude the first play here. Nothing much, just to rush up the middle. We'll bring them back to the line of scrimmage.
And it was a very low snap because they had Journey Williamson just had to go up the middle with it. And it'll be just back to the line of scrimmage. Both teams have seen a little bit of trouble with the snap so far.
So now here on 2nd and 10, Williamson will put a man in motion. It's a low snap, but able to hold on to it. Hands it off to Denny. Denny having trouble in the backfield once again. It'll be a loss and bring up third down.
And Denny had nowhere to go. He runs to the right side. Well, then he trips, so he loses all of his momentum as he gets just a little bit of a trip and then gets hit from behind. And that was the defensive lineman, Aiden Gray, on the initial contact.
Brings up a long third down, 3rd and 12 to be exact. They'll need to get to the 46-yard line in order to convert it.
I feel like we said this last time we were here, Bryce. There is no play clock.
Right, correct, yeah. I think we mentioned that during the Big Walnut game, too.
Yeah, when they were here against Worthington Christian. I keep looking around. I wonder how they do it.
Gentleman's agreement, maybe. Williamson rolling out, deciding to pass, but smashed in the backfield. He'll go down on the sack.
And nowhere to go. Rolls to the right. Chris Marshall just doing it all for this defense. Gets there and makes the tackle.
Perhaps trying to utilize an element of surprise as the conditions improve. Maybe thinking they could get a pass away there, but no time to get it away. Cardington brings their punting unit on. Looks like that's Trevin Harris back to receive the punt. Punt is up. It's a good one towards the right sideline. Harris fields it right around the 41-yard line. Looking for an opportunity, cuts back, finds a few blocks, a long flag thrown in, and stays on his feet. Finally goes down at the 21-yard line. There is a flag.
There was a flag thrown immediately when he caught the ball as well, and it could be a possible block in the back. As we see the coach and everyone come back farther to the sideline.
Yeah, I think arguably a block in the back there. We'll take one more look at it as they decide.
And maybe on number 5, you can just see the grab on number 8.
And they do call it the illegal block in the back.
And because of that, a massive return will be negated on the play, and that will start them right at about the 45-yard line.
What a heartbreaker there. Unfortunately, I think that's one that you see a lot at high school football level. And as a blocker, you know, you're so excited in the play, and in your head you see somebody, you hit somebody because he's running towards the football, and unfortunately just got it in the back end of him.
And Blaine ball empty in the backfield. We'll see if it's a designed quarterback run.
Holds it. He is going to look to pass. Looking over the middle. He's got a man wide open. Finds a receiver in the way of Chris Marshall. Chris Marshall all the way into the end zone. Another Centerburg touchdown.
And Chris Marshall just, it was a little bit of misdirection. You had 2 Trojans coming at it. Didn't really know who Blaine Ball was throwing it up
in the backfield. They call a hold. So that'll negate the touchdown.
Well, it was a very great catch by Chris Marshall. You just had him and then another Trojan just kind of right there at the same time. You can see Blaine Ball was looking towards his left, now throws it over the middle. And that was intended either for Chris Marshall or number 6, Jonah Gribben. Both were in the area, but a great job by Marshall on the initial catch. But a huge holding penalty will back them up 10 yards, 1st and 25.
So now a 1st and 25 alone in the backfield. Successful on the passing play this time. Will take it himself up the middle. Has room. Another flag on the play.
And most likely going to be holding, and that's the initial call. We just look at the replay. And it looks like it was number 51 on the offensive line. The left guard, Clark Reed, just grabbing at that shoulder.
55 penalty yards already against the Trojans on 5 penalties.
And a little bit of bad plays. You have back-to-back holdings.
First and Mansfield from the 25-yard
First and Mansfield from the announcer. That's a good one.
The first down and 30, to be exact.
And able to find some room. It's Marshall, Miles Marshall getting away. It's going to be a 75-yard touchdown into the end zone. They said, we'll see your penalties and raise you a touchdown.
No penalty, touchdown, Marshall.
And a great job by Miles Marshall, and has been the player of the game early. Breaks it outside, gets through the hole, has that blazing speed to turn on the Jets. No one back for Cardington. And what a game so far it has been for Miles Marshall.
A trio of touchdowns for him. 100 yards in touchdown rushes alone.
Miles Marshall, 7.5 yards per carry coming in tonight, was the leading rusher with 406 yards.
This one is no good, they say, so we'll take a quick break. Join us after the break. 8:46 remaining here in the second quarter. Centerburg leads 19-0.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Bryce Carter with the OH Report, joined in the booth by Micah Flack as the ball once again falls off the tee before kickoff. Centerburg able to extend their lead to 19 over Cardington after the 75-yard rush from Miles Marshall in a first and 30, first and 40 scenario.
And just had those two holding penalties that took away a touchdown for the receiver, Chris Marshall. And then they just hand it off to Miles Marshall. He finds the gap, and that's 3 touchdowns so far.
And a weak kick will hit the front line of the kickoff group, as Cardington will take over right around the 46-yard line. For them, you know, they feel like they've got to get something going. They have faith in Denny, who's been running the ball relatively well. Unfortunately, had that fumble earlier, but they have got to get something going here as we inch towards the second half.
And you just have to find something, as the running back of Denny has been very productive so far. Had that 16-yard rush, but that's really been about it. Have not attempted a pass. They have 6 yards or 6 attempts on the ground.
They went to the pass once before. We'll see if that's on their mind again. He has 3 wide receivers. Puts a man in motion, ends up handing it off this time. Hands it off to Kalen Briggs. Briggs able to fight through and a pickup of about 5 before he's pushed out of bounds.
Kalen Briggs just comes from the opposite side, just a little bit on the handoff. You give it to your speedy receiver. Just able to break a tackle or 2 and a good pickup.
Now back to the huddle. We'll see what they've drawn up here. 2 wide receivers out to his left. Flag on the play, on the snap, in fact. So he'll pick up a little bit. We'll see what they rule it.
See what the initial ruling is given, and it looks like there'll be a false start. Back them up 5 yards.
So I think it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Some new personnel onto the field for the Trojans. I hope I don't jinx it, but I think that the rain has nearly ceased. Now the clock continues to run. Cornerback's pressed up. Handed off. No, Williamson takes it himself this time, and he's stopped in the backfield. Maybe a pickup of one. It brings up a long third down.
And a great job off the edge by the defensive edge. Carson Rose was immediately there for the tackle. Will be a pickup of just about one.
Crossing the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. Still a lot of time for the Pirates to mount a comeback if that is indeed in the cards for them tonight. And a pitch to Denny outside, another flag thrown.
Just take a look at what they're going to say, and it looks like it'll be holding.
Penalty marker on the play.
Is the penalty, and that'll back them up 10 yards.
Second penalty of the night for Cardington Pirates.
Holding on the Pirates.
So it looks like they will decline the penalty.
And
brings on the punting unit in a 4th and 13 scenario.
And a good job. Just don't need to back them up another 10 yards. Already 4th and long. You know that Cardington will not be going for it. A good job by the Trojans to decline the penalty.
So punting unit on. Able to get this one away. It's an end-over-end punt as it rolls towards Trevin Harris. Picked up around the 35-yard line before he's finally wrestled down. Didn't pick up very much there.
And it'll be
Harris on the return, tackle by Robinson. First down.
A lot of shake and bake moves there, but with the slippery field conditions, really hard to plant and turn that corner like you would want to.
And they'll spot them right at the 35-yard line. And now this is a great opportunity continuing forward. The Trojans already have 19 points, trying to just continue to pour it on to Cardington. And we'll see what they go back to. And had that long pass that was negated, but then the 75-yard touchdown by Miles. And see what Miles Marshall and this offense looks to do.
And instead, they hand it off to another man. That's Chris Marshall, who will pick up about 6 or 7 yards, a healthy rush from him.
And a great job, just an end around fake it, cuts back up towards the middle, eventually will be met by the Pirates, but like you said, a pickup of 6 yards.
So 2nd and 4 scenario here as they make their way back to the line of scrimmage. Ball's got a whole host of receivers at his disposal. 4 men, 3 on his right, 1 on his left. And he's got Miles Marshall on his right hip. 3 men in the box for the Cardington Pirates. Ball decides to take it himself, running into trouble though, as the pressure got there and will result in a loss.
Ball on the carry, tackle by Camino.
And Camino there on the tackle, wrapped him up immediately, was not fooled by the QB keeper. A great job by Cardington.
We have a man slow to get up. For Cardington, difficulty seeing the numbers there. Athletic trainer stretching out that knee. So you've got a busy day tomorrow as well. You're departing here and heading right up to that state up north.
Got to head up to East Lansing, Ohio State. We'll have a 7:30 night game kickoff against the Michigan State Spartans, and It'll be an interesting game. Ohio State has allowed just 52 points in the last 5 meetings, going 5-0 in those games against Michigan State. And everyone remembers a couple years ago in 2021, Michigan State came off a loss against Purdue, but they were ranked top 10 coming into Ohio State. And of course, that was the game with C.J. Stroud, 56-7. New coach with Jonathan Smith, Aiden Childs. A lot to like at Michigan State, but probably not against this Buckeyes team.
And you'll also be gracing the airwaves up there as well, correct? Doing some student radio?
Yeah, Scarlet and Gray Sports Radio, the official student radio home of Ohio State Athletics.
Beautiful. Devin Semino was the man slow off the field, the 6-foot junior. Finally able to make it over to the sideline with some assistance from the trainer and a coach. As we resume, the clock continues to tick. Ball drops back, looking to pass, trying to find a receiver, looking for a man over the middle. Trevin Harris, lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
It was looking for Trevin Harris, just a little bit past him, and just off the tips of a Pirate defender. They'll bring 4th down and 7. And looking for that was number 23, Kalen Briggs, for the Pirates.
They'll force the punt, which for Pirates is a good sign, and I think that's something good teams do, is when they have their back up against the wall, they'll cling to any sort of momentum they can find. This team feels good about their defensive stop here, just has to convert offensively if they want to get back into this one. It's a beautiful punt. Back towards Cardington, shakes and bakes, pushed in the back, stays on his feet. He's got room, trying to find an option, picks up a blocker, and pushed out around the 50-yard line, absolutely decked, and they call a flag.
And it'll be a late hit out of bounds. Unsportsmanlike conduct for sure. As you just take another look, got all the way to the outside after a trip, and just gets very much so hit by Trevin Harris.
Let's take a look at that one more time. It was just so close along that sideline.
And it's tough to see from our vantage point exactly if he had stepped out of bounds or not and where he was on the sideline.
But all the same, the penalty will be assessed.
Personal foul on the Trojans.
And it'll be a personal foul on Trevin Harris, senior.
So now the ball on the Trojan 37. So if there was ever an opportunity for the Pirates to get back into it, it's now. Williamson pitches it. Denny looking for some room. He'll pick up a few. It's a decent gain.
Denny on the carry, tackled by Nichols.
Denny, a pickup of about 4, just trying to play it slow. You have it in great field position, and you can try to work this ball and force the Trojans back into their own territory.
So 2nd and 8, it'll be a pickup of 2. Ball on the Trojan 33, just 13 yards away from that red zone. Puts a man in motion, hands it off to Denny one more time, who's wrapped up and brought down. It'll pick up a couple once more.
Just continuing to be a hard physical runner downfield as they give it to him right up the middle. He finds a little bit of a crease to the right side for a pickup of 3.
On the bright side for this Cardington defense, I mean, we were talking about the nickel and diming, how they're able to get 4 or 5, 6 yards. They're suddenly starting to limit it, or I'm sorry, Cardington suddenly starting to find some yardage, some room forward. This time, no room though, as they bring him down, finally blowing the play dead. They'll bring up 4th and about 5.
They have a decision to make, the punt unit, and not coming out onto the field. And they'll look to go for this here and see if they can maybe try to force an offsides, maybe a hard count here. Give them the immediate first down.
Great idea there. They just roll out. Williamson looking to pass, gets drilled as he throws it out towards the sideline, and it's incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the Trojans will take over at the 30-yard line.
Was looking for the receiver, Evan Stover, on the far side. It was late hit. Just able to get there right as he throws the ball. Nowhere to put it. So that was Hayden Love, a strong safety there, and that will give the Trojans the ball immediately. And after what was a good defensive series for Cardington, had just not been able to stop this Centerburg offense, just stifled as they got a couple of big plays. You had the return and then the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty, and just not a good drive for Cardington.
Now pitching it out to Miles Marshall, who's hitting the legs and brought down around the 29-yard line.
We'll get right back to the line of scrimmage.
Michael's Roofing and Gutter, Mid-Ohio Paving, and Monarch Title Services.
So eating a lot of time off this clock, probably part of the strategy as they make their way back to the line of scrimmage. Hands it off to Marshall once more, trying to find some blockers. Jukes back inside, finds some space, picks up a block from Blaine Ball. He's got room. He crosses the 30, picks up another blocker. He's going to be pushed out and falls down right around the 11-yard line. Another huge run from Miles Marshall.
And Marshall just able to break a couple tackles, had the blockers in front. A good job by number 6. Just finally able to tackle him at the opposite 11-yard line.
Garrett Haycock coming up with the tackle there. Very clutch, as we thought that was going to be a touchdown.
And just a 60-yard rush. 75, now 60, and he's well over 500 yards on the season.
Snap, hands it off to Chris Marshall this time, who can't find any room. We'll bring up second down.
And you got time to work with. We try to stall a little bit of clock as well, as you're coming up just about 2 minutes. And so far, Miles Marshall has been the player of the half and the player of the game, really.
Trio of touchdowns for him, and they've been explosive ones too, out of nowhere. Hands it off to Chris Marshall once more. He tries to fight and stays on his feet. He'll pick up a little bit.
And they'll get within the 5-yard line, down to about the 4 or 3.
From the looks of it, the first down marker is right around the 1-yard line, so they are able to pick up just 3 here. It'll buy them a new set of downs. .70 seconds remaining. The snap, ball hands it off to Marshall, follows the blocker, and this time he's in. Chris Marshall gets the touchdown. The score is now 25-0. Trojans leading this one over the Pirates.
And a great job, just handed off to Chris Marshall. Both of the Marshalls finding the end zone early tonight. A huge lead for Centerburg.
Now lining up for point after. The snap. It's up, and it's through this time. So score expanded 26-0 with 1:04 remaining here in the second quarter. Stay with us for the conclusion of the second half coming up next.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Bryce Coder, Mike Flack with the OH Report, joining you with a minute 4 remaining here in the second quarter. A 5-yard rush from Chris Marshall will make the score 26-0 over Cardington going into the locker room. A lot to be said. Trojans feeling pretty good about themselves, but Pirates knowing that they want to mount that comeback, but a lot to work on as they go on into the second half.
And just a lot to figure out for Cardington that they'll have to try to make adjustments at the half, and it's really been the run game. You have to figure out how to stop Miles Marshall. A 60-yard run, then a 75-yard run. This team has yet to convert a pass. For both sides, they haven't converted a pass. It's been all about the run game like we talked, and so far the Trojans have been dominant in stopping the run. They've only given up one rush of over 5 yards, that being a 16-yard carry. So the Trojans have looked incredible defensively and offensively. Cardington has to find a way to be more physical in the trenches.
And the snap, running it forward. A lot of men on the field there. 1, 2, 3.
Briggs on the carry, tackled by Nichols.
And they hand it off to Kalen Briggs. He'll get up a pickup of 4. And we'll see what Cardington looks to do. If they'll try to run it quickly here, and it looks like they're not going to do that. They were going to waste this clock as much as possible, run one more play, and what I assume will take them into the halftime break.
Inside of 30 seconds now. Second and about 6 on the 24-yard line. Hands it off to following a man, actually. Bouncing outside, then cutting back the other way. He's got space that way, and he's off. Denton Garrison finally wrapped up and brought down after a long first down. Clock continues.
And a great job, just able to cut it back. Dan Garrison.
Cardington calls a timeout to stop the clock at 10 seconds.
Wasted a lot of time, but it got them the first down.
The club would like to thank the following community members for their very generous support of the senior pie auction. Mike Hankinson family, Pat White family.
So with the timeout, we'd like to take a second to thank our sponsors. Webb's Marathon and Automotive. Stop by Webb's Marathon to join the Webb's Rewards program, where you can earn dollars off fuel and free drinks and coffee. Go Trojans. Morrow County Hospital and Ohio Health, providing great care locally so patients do not have to travel far to receive quality expert health care. The Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation and Man Therapy. So life hasn't been all sandalwood and sunshine lately. Visit mantherapy.org today and get your free head inspection to see if it's time for a checkup. From the neck up, men are better men when they're happy. Monarch Title Services, if you're selling or refinancing your real estate, you get to choose the title company. Why not support those who support the Trojans and close with confidence anytime, anywhere? Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows and doors since 1970, and Knox Community Hospital in the community, for the community. Again, thank you to our sponsors who support our coverage of live and free local sports all across the great state of Ohio. Rolling out, Williamson throwing into traffic, and very lucky that wasn't intercepted.
And just throwing it all the way downfield, as it was a very low snap, had a little bit of time, just looking all the way for Kalen Briggs, nowhere to go.
So perhaps not catastrophic if the interception there, just got to bring the guy down with only a few seconds remaining, but that was an absolute shot downfield. Now alone in the backfield. Looks like they might have gotten a man to jump. No flag, though. Williamson gets stripped in the backfield, and they fall on top of it, and that's how the second quarter will come to an end. Stay with us after the commercial break, and we'll bring you the band show and our halftime show coming up next. Stay with us.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Picking up new hobbies such as cooking is another manly way to avoid depression and reduce stress. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make my world-famous guaco mahogany. First, mash up 5 or 6 of these green things. Then add hot sauce, this lettuce stuff, these red things.
We continue with Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. The band seniors of the class of 2025 are AJ Brim, Gishi Galilei, McKenna Kennard, Cheyenne Leopold, Chloe Nida, Carter Ramanita, Grant Raber, Logan Reynolds, Joey Sherman, and Marnie Young. Thank you, seniors, for all your hard work and dedication over the years. We finished tonight's show with Katy Perry's Firework. Thank you very much, and go Pirates! Arr. Please welcome to the field this season's Centerburg Trojan Pride Marching Band. The band is under the direction of this year's drum majors Tressie Beverly, Victoria Browning, and Dylan Meyer. Tonight the band will be performing the first two parts of the Pirates of the Caribbean show. Part 1 includes Fogbound, the Medallion Calls, and the Black Pearl, and Part 2 includes the Blood Ritual and the Pirates Cave. The Trojan Pride Band wishes the bands, cheerleaders, and teams of both schools the best of luck this season.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Picking up new hobbies such as cooking is another manly way to avoid depression and reduce stress. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make my world-famous guaco mahogany. First, mash up 5 or 6 of these green things. Then add hot sauce, this lettuce stuff, these red things, salt, some of this stuff, and limes, and finally, bacon to taste. Delicious.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Let's go. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now.
Flack with the OH Report, joining you live for the Morrow County Hospital halftime show. The story of this one has been the Centerburg Trojans running away with it, 26-0 so far in one half of play, but what can be done in one half can be undone is likely the message coming out of the Pirates locker room. Let's take a look at our halftime stats. And for Cardington, 3 first downs, 41 rushing yards. No passing yards recorded yet in this game for either side. 41 total yards, 2 penalties, 15 penalty yards, 1 turnover for the Centerburg Trojans. 7 first downs, 244 rushing yards, 0 passing yards, 244 total yards, 6 penalties for a total of 60 yards and 0 turnovers to their record. So really cruising along. You know, point of emphasis I think for the Trojans going forward is let's clean it up, right? We know these referees are prone to throw flags on holds that, you know, may or may not be there. So you got to be clean, right? Keep in front, play as clean as possible, and execute.
And that's going to be exactly what they want to do and continue to hand the ball off to Miles Marshall. It has paid dividends. Of course, 244 rushing yards in that first half, and it was insane. You had a 60-yard rush of over 40 yards and then a 75-yard touchdown rush as well. And it has worked in favor of the Trojans, and the defense has been there.
So starting things off here in the third quarter, having some trouble with it, fields it around the 5-yard line, bouncing out. He's got some room if he's able to escape this edge, and he does. Crosses the 20-yard line, finally pushed out at the 26.
The question will be, how do they respond on this first drive? Centerburg looking to get the ball back and be able to put up 30 points. And if you're the Pirates, you had an opportunity in that first half. You had a great return all the way out to the 50, and then you had a 15-yard penalty against the Trojans. It was an unsportsmanlike conduct, and that got you well inside the 35-yard line. They were just unable to do anything, went for it on fourth down. Again, not able to pick it up, and that's 2 fourth-down conversions that have not gone in favor of the Pirates.
Absolutely. Moving forward, you know, you really have to utilize every single opportunity you have with the football as the time dwindles down. Williamson with a close set will take it himself, rolls out towards his right, jukes inside of the linebacker, continues to push, picks up a first down and maybe a yard more. Good carry from Williamson.
And a good job. That's exactly where you want to be. Let the quarterback take it. He looks to his right, then goes back up the middle, breaks a tackle, just gets by that of number 14. He's just able to find the zone, be able to get a huge rush, and they only got 1 rush in that quarter of over 10 yards. It was a 16-yard carry by the running back Wyatt Denny, who came into this game as one of the best rushers in the KMAC with over 9.8 yards per carry.
And has some trouble with the snap. Denny out of the Wildcat will be able to salvage about 3 yards on that one. It'll bring up second down.
Denny on the carry, tackled by Haas and Stigler.
And just able to salvage in. They've had some troubles with the snaps. Both teams in that first half just been really low a couple times. The quarterbacks just had to fall on it, and we'll see where that's at in the second half.
So slow to the line. We did confirm that there is no play clock here. They just do a gentleman's agreement, try to get to the line as quickly as possible. Puts 2 men in motion, some misdirection, flag on the play.
Now flag thrown immediately, as it will be against the offense. It will be a false start, and that will back them up 5 yards, so second down and 12.
So both edges moving at once. I think that's what got them.
Illegal shift on the Pirates.
Illegal shift is what they get them for. So a second and 12 now, ball on their own 34-yard line. We'll look to keep this drive going. Some signs of life after a journey. Williamson, 11-yard first down rush. And we'll see it again. Pushes that dog pile forward. He'll pick up Looks like about 4 or 5 yards to get back to the original spot.
And a good job just able to get back to that original line, but it's a long third down now. Both of these teams have yet to convert a pass. Well, you might say, well, they were really close as you got it to Marshall if you were Centerburg, but it was called back due to a penalty. But it would, both of these teams still in search of their first completion of the evening.
So inside of 10 minutes now. Another very close set. It's another low snap. Looking for an avenue. They'll bring up 4th down and long. About 6 they'll have to get.
Just another rush, and after that first down, it's pickups of 3, 3, and 3 because of the illegal shift. So it'll be 4th down and 6. And you don't want to give the ball back to Centerburg. You, of course, would like to punt it away if possible, but Journey Williamson getting the call from his offensive coordinator and the head coach, and they're looking like they're going to go for it. And this is a risky, very risky play, Bryce, because you give the ball back, you give it to him at the 40-yard line of your own territory, and this Centerburg offense has been electric.
And flag thrown.
Timeout by the Pirates.
Oh, instead it'll be a timeout called by Cardington.
The Touchdown Club would like to say a very special thank you.
So I do respect that play, that decision to go for it there, trying to draw them off sides. But, I mean, you've got to do something, right? You're down 26-0 here early in the second quarter. You need scores if you want to mount a comeback in this ball game.
Yeah, like you said, you just have to mount some scores. You have to find the offensive rhythm, which this team has just not been able to do. And it's been all Centerburg in defensive and offense. They held the Cardington Pirates to just 41 yards of total offense, all 41 of those yards coming on the ground. Looks like they'll try to go for it again.
So burning their first time out of the half, back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like Denny will take it out of the Wildcat following the blocker, and Williamson, he gets the first down and a little bit more, so it ends up paying off for him, but there's a flag thrown in the backfield.
Just taking a look, and
player slow to get up. Looks like for Centerburg. Along that sideline, the Cardington sideline.
And Cardington looking to be backed up. The initial call was a holding.
So still slow to get up along that sideline. I don't have a sight on who that is.
And it will be a holding penalty, so that will back them up 10 yards. So it'll be 4th down and 16. Very unlikely that they go for it here. As an injured Trojan down.
Unfortunate for them. I mean, that was such a good first down play that would have given them a lot of momentum, but unfortunately, that holding pulls them back, and that's really been the story of tonight.
And you just have no choice now but to punt the ball. If you give it to them inside of your own 30, that would be a very unwise decision. Centerburg has done a lot on the ground, and all of that coming from Miles Marshall.
Looks like that's Teddy Steigler, who was slow to get up. He's jogging over to the sideline now. Looks like he's okay. So it looks like Wyatt Denny will punt things off to Trevin Harris. The punt is up, and it's a good one. He backs up, receives it around the 35, but he muffs it. Absolutely smashed at the point of pickup. So no yardage return there. Harris grabbing the arm and a bit slow, but making his way over to the sideline now.
It was a good job by Trevin Harris as he just kind of muffed it, but immediately picked it up as a Pirate was there to instantly make the tackle. A good job just to hold on to it and give Centerburg the drive.
So they'll take over on their own 33-yard line. With a 3 wide receiver set, ball will take over. Man on his left hip takes the snap, hands it off to Marshall. Marshall bounces out towards the left side, able to pick up a blocker, a first down and about a yard more.
And just who else are you going to feed it to other than Marshall? And he has been exactly what you need them to be. Miles Marshall just continuing to grind down for those chunk plays, get the first down, continue to move into Cardington territory, and if they score a touchdown here, it would be a running clock in favor of the Trojans. It's 30 points. That was something the OH.SAA added back a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's one of those things, we talk about it a lot in chess, where if you play a huge skill differential, it's really not fun for either side, right?
It'll be the first pass completed of the afternoon. As Chris Marshall able to just pick it up on the flat. And a great job just throwing those little dump routes. They're not trying to do anything fancy.
So they give him the extra yard. It looks like it'll be a pickup of 7, brings up a 2nd and 3rd scenario. Crossing into Pirate territory as the ball's now on the Cardington 49-yard line.
First pass completed of the evening.
Stacked wide receivers on the left side, wide outs on either side. The handoff to Miles Marshall. Miles Marshall moving towards that first down marker. I don't think he got it, though. I think he'll be about a yard short.
And that he will be. So 3rd down and 1 for the Trojans. And this is where you go back to the ground game. And in this scenario, you know what Centerburg's defense can do. Would not be surprised, even on this 3rd and 1, if they don't pick it up, they go for it on 4th.
Now with 2 men on his left, he puts Chris Marshall in motion towards the right side, hands it off to Miles Marshall. Miles Marshall pushing forward, picks up the first down and a host of a lot more yards. Finally wrapped up and brought down around the 35-yard line.
Miles Marshall
get a pickup of 12.
First down, Trojans.
Just continuing to find those gaps in the defense, being able to run it up. And this is where Cardington's probably going to start to feel a lot of pressure, especially giving them up past that 30-point mark. But also, this is where they're going to start to feel tired. You come out of the locker room, you're already 6 minutes into this quarter, and they are just continuing to pound the ball down the middle.
Looks to pass now, finds Chris Marshall on a screen pass. A late flag thrown in after the contact.
Marshall, penalty marker on the play.
See if we can get a look there.
And it'll be called holding. And it looks like it was on number 5 of Cardington, who Journey Williamson claiming he was held by number 24.
So that one going against Jack Lawrence. That'll back him up 10 yards. It makes it 1st and 20. Now the snap fakes the handoff to Miles, looks to pass, throwing over the middle. He's got a wide open receiver. Chris Marshall will scoot into the end zone, running parallel to it, but finally picking up that extra yards for Centerburg touchdown.
Now 44-yard passing touchdown, wide open in the middle. It's broken coverage, just no one there to make the tackle and find him in coverage. And that will make it a 32-0 lead.
Lining up for the point after. Daniel Lemaster, the senior. Kicks it through, so the lead stands at 33 here in the third quarter as the clock continues to tick for some reason. Stay with us through the commercial.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Short kickoff underway, fielded and kneed down around the 35-yard line.
Goers at the 35-yard line.
Now the
Pirates.
Running clock will begin.
And like we said in that last drive, anything over 30, if you have a 30-point lead or above, it will be a running clock.
So getting it ticking now, 4:33 and ticking.
And that was the first passing touchdown of the game, the first pass over 10 yards of the game, the second completion as well, and both passing attempts coming from Centerburg.
Now a handoff to man on Cardington, number 23, Kalen Briggs, who has a powerful run for about 14.
And a great job getting all the way to the 49-yard line, a 14-yard run. Just barreling through the defenders of Centerburg, just not able to be wrapped up before the line to gain.
A low snap gets past Williamson. He'll just fall on top of it, so the yardage they were able to gain now negated.
And that's a little bit shocking that didn't happen earlier. That's happened a lot this game for both sides. Both quarterbacks been able to really control it. This time just gets away from Williamson. He had to go all the way back, just fell on it. A good job of the quarterback just to fall on it as he sees two Centerburg defenders closing in on him. It'll be 2nd down and 19.
We'll try again. The pitch out to Denny. Denny's wrapped up and brought down.
Tackled by Weaver.
And Denny just trying to find the outside holes, not able to at all. So it'll be 3rd down and 19. They'll say 3rd down and 20, so a loss of 1. And Centerburg has gotten a lot of help on this drive. You had that fumble just kind of go all there, that low snap that skidded on the ground that pushed them all the way back. So it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Pirates.
And rolling out towards his left, wrapped up around the ankles. Williamson stays on his feet and is finally brought down. It'll bring up 4th down.
And a good job on the initial contact by the defensive back, Heath Merkelin, as he was there, just not able to fully wrap him up on the run. You see, just grabbed on the leg, but it tripped him up and allowed his other defender, that would be number 3, Miles Marshall, just able to get over there for another loss of 1. A great job by Centerburg on the defensive side on this drive.
So getting a comment in, I guess they do run a play clock. It's a fake Denny looking for yardage. He has a ton. He'll pick up the 1st down and more inside of Trojan territory. Finally wrapped up and brought down just short of the red zone. So a great run from Denny.
And a great run, gets all the way over to the 20-yard line, just about 22, all the way from the opposite 38.
So yeah, comment coming in. I guess they do run a play clock. The back judge keeps it. They just don't have a visible play clock. Pretty, I think, rare even for KMAC. Certainly remember having one as a Mount Gilead graduate back in 2014 as he's brought down for a pickup of a few.
And that's what you wanted to see from the offense of the Pirates. Just have that fourth down that you just decide to go for. Don't even punt the ball. Have a little bit of that misdirection, and it worked out beautifully in favor of Cardington.
Able to pick up 6 there at 2nd and 4. They're inside the red zone. Only 16 yards to go until that goal line. Motion man rolling out right. Williamson will keep it himself. Tries to hurdle a man, but gets smashed. They'll throw a flag on that.
Just throws the flag and
Waved off the penalty.
And the penalty is waved off, and I don't know what that would have been a penalty on unless it was the offense. The defense made a clean tackle, and that will end the quarter to make it 3rd down and 4.
Men have a way of doing things. A man has his way of eating, of exercising, of keeping his hands warm, and of straightening up. So, when a man faces a serious life problem like divorce, depression, or suicidal thoughts, shouldn't a man have a way to deal with that too? Well, now he does. I'm Dr. Rich Mahogany. Visit me at mantherapy.org.
Bryce Coder, Micah Flack joining you for one remaining quarter here in Centerburg as Centerburg is leading Cardington 33-0, but Cardington is knocking on the door of the goal line. 13 yards to go. It's a 3rd and 1 scenario. Sends it right back up the middle. I think he got the yardage.
And it looks like he did get the yardage.
They do give it to him.
And Centerburg looking for a goal line stand. As the Pirates, this has been the closest they've been to the red zone after a massive pickup on a fake punt, and the rush by Wyatt Denny got them all the way inside the red zone.
Now a reverse, hands it off to a man in the backfield, picks up a few yards, so they'll inch closer towards that goal line.
Just 7 yards away. It was 1st down and 7. Well, it's 1st down and 7 because you're 7 yards away. And it'll be 2nd down and 9, so a minus rush of 2 yards.
As Cardington, I know with the running clock, I'm sure the writing is probably on the wall, but I really respect how hard they're getting after it here on this drive, trying to get on the board and avoid that shutout.
And just doing whatever it takes to try to be there as they hand it off up the middle to Wyatt Denny. And there'll be no gain on the carry. Say it's 3rd down and 7 actually, so back to the original. If you're Centerburg, you can get a huge goal line stand. You can just continue to run down this clock. You lead 33-0.
So now 3rd and goal on the 7-yard line. Hands it off. He's got some room. Lost the football, though, jumping on top of it. It'll bring up 4th down, so they were making some good progress on that play, but the strip
And it was a good job on the hit, a great job by the offensive lineman just to be able to fall right back on it.
Miles Marshall forcing the fumble there.
And it'll be a holding penalty that will be declined, which makes sense. You back him up 10 yards, but you would give him 2 more downs to work with. You know they're already going to go for it. Unless they decide to, and it looked like it was waved off, but they will actually take that. So it'll be 3rd down and 17. So the clock continues to run. As
3rd and 15 from the 18-yard
So
line.
Centerburg having issues with the penalties in the first half, 6 of them, but this half it's Cardington who has the majority of the penalties. Denny following some blockers out of the Wildcat, gets past the line of scrimmage, dives forward. There's a flag thrown far in the backfield. He dives towards the goal line. I don't think he was able to reach the pylon, but I think it's going to be sent back.
And it looks like it'll be on the Pirates, as you can hear the fans clapping. Just take another look at it. Can't really see anything from our vantage point, but a huge play again negated.
Personal foul on the Pirates.
And it'll be a personal foul, so it'll be 3rd down and a mile. Just nowhere really else to put it. Pretty much going to be 3rd down and 30.
I think 3rd and 32 is what it's going to end up as.
3rd down and a mile. We don't even need to say what it is. 3rd down and a mile for the Pirates. And this has been a drive that has unfortunately gotten them all the way inside to the 7-yard line. Then a fumble, backed them up a couple yards. Well, then you had a holding play, and now the personal foul. So 3rd down and 25.
Denny trying to find some blockers. He's got a long way to go, wrapped up by a gaggle of red jerseys, and finally brought down around the 9-yard line, so was able to make some really good progress there, but it'll bring up 4th down all the same.
We'll see what they spot him at the 10-yard line, so it's 4th down and 7 after an 18-yard rush. And this technically could effectively put the game out of reach. You get a stop here. The running clock's already in effect. It doesn't matter if you get a 1st down anymore, Bryce. You're going to run the clock no matter what. And even if you go out of bounds, so this is a huge play for Centerburg. And it'll be
Denny having trouble with the snap, trying to cross the goal line. He will end up reaching. So shutout avoided as Cardington gets on the board for the very first time tonight here in the 4th quarter.
It'll be a 10-yard touchdown rush in favor of the Pirates. A great job on the block on the outside. The offensive lineman just able to get the defender out of the way. As the running back, Wyatt Denny, able to find the end zone.
10-yard rush from him will put them on the board. See if they line up for the point after. Looks like they're going to go for 2 here. Williamson takes it himself, but nowhere to go as he'll get pushed all the way back. So the score will stand at 33-6 after the Cardington touchdown. Stay with us for the remainder of this ball game.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Wyatt Denny lining up to kick things off as Cardington gets on the board for the first time tonight with 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. And it's a low kick, just falling on top of it after he collects it.
Down by Jack Lawrence, first down.
Onside kick not working for Cardington.
And just not able to find it, so you put him right at about the 45-yard line. A great job just able to doing that. And this Centerburg offense has just found the end zone consistently, Bryce. Even if you don't get the onside kick and you decide to just kick it away instead, this Centerburg offense, regardless if they start at the 20, the 10, or the 45, have been able to push well into Pirates territory.
Indeed, they have so many yards for them have come from the run. Two wide receivers left. They sub in another guy. Ball hands it off. They'll blow the play dead. Looks like a late substitution.
It'll actually be a false start.
Just that last second, I don't think you can see him in the shot. Number 81 runs onto the field. He was still in motion when the ball was snapped.
And that will back them up 5 yards. So it's first down and 15. As that was a very good drive for the Pirates last time. They got a 40-yard conversion, a rush on that fourth down, and then an 18-yard rush, then a 10 yards for the touchdown.
So turning to a new man here.
Sean Carter on the carry.
Sean Carter. Now hands it off to Carter one more time, who evades one waist tackle, stays on his feet for a few more yards. He'll pick up about 6.
And a great job just able to continue to churn those feet downfield. And it'll be close to a first down.
Looks like it'll be about 4.5 yards there. Carter, no, instead, Ball will take it himself, having trouble staying on his feet after the shoestring tackle.
And it'll be just 1 yard away. A great job of the quarterback. If you hand it off right there, you had the edge. And the shoestring tackle just kind of propelled himself forward just a yard away. 4th down and 1 at the 45-yard line of Pirates territory. And this is exactly where you want to be. You're in no man's land, but you're 1 yard away. The running game has been stellar in this game, especially with Miles Marshall, his day most likely over. A very good running back room for this Trojans offense.
Now under center, he'll take it himself for, I think he made it. We'll see where they roll him down.
Progress, they're going to give it to him.
And indeed they do.
First down, Trojans.
So a valiant effort from the Pirates defense, but no dice this time as the Trojans pick up their 10th first down of the night.
And great job by the Trojans. A little bit of misdirection. You just had someone quickly come up on the Wildcat, almost a tush push, but it was more like a QB sneak, just try to go right up the gut. As the officials are talking things over, we have...
Oh, they're going to call the chains on this.
And we have a perfect view of this. And I thought forward progress gave him the first down, Bryce.
I thought so as well, but the way they spotted it is going to require that the chains come onto the field.
This will be a very, very close call, but that will be more than a first down. Yeah, that was
by a football and a half there, yeah.
A little bit surprising they brought out the chains.
First down, Trojans.
Trojans will get the first down, and that's all that matters. Be 4.5 minutes to go. Another opportunity to punch it in the end zone, reestablish that running clock. Not like it's going to matter by the time you get in the end zone.
Carter runs into a brick wall and is brought down. Got a comment. Says they've never seen this many flags. Let's count them.
Carter on the carry, tackled by Denny.
It has to be a lot.
13 flags called in this game.
Wow. That might be a new record on the season. I want to know how much total combined yardage have those flags been? If you can do any quick math.
125 total penalty yards tonight.
Yikes.
Carter will pick up about a yard there. It'll bring up third down.
Carter on the carry, tackled by Denny and Hartley.
It'll be third down and long, but Centerburg will pick up a yard. They're really just trying to start running out this clock. You're already at 3 minutes remaining in this game. A couple more first downs, and depending on what Cardington does, have an opportunity to put this game to bed.
Ball will look to get that done here on third down, 3rd and 6. They hand it off to Carter one more time, who reverses things, picks up a few yards. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down marker.
We'll see what Centerburg does, and it looks like they'll look to go for it. It makes sense. Why wouldn't you? You're in no man's land still, and probably not going to go for a field goal regardless. And if you get a first down, you can waste even more of the clock.
So 4th and 2 situation here. Handed it off to Carter the last number of plays. See if that's in the cards for this one here. It's a pitch instead. Carter tries to cut inside. I don't think he got there.
And he'll be right at the line to gain if so.
Carter on the carry, tackled by Denny. Stop just
They do rule it a turnover on down, so Cardington will take over on their own 35-yard line with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter.
And that was very close. They had him just a couple chain lengths short of the first down, but 2 minutes ago, not a lot of time for the Pirates. This game is probably wrapped up without a lot of miracles.
It'd certainly feel good for Cardington if they were able to salvage one more touchdown out of this game. We'll see if that's what they're moving towards. You love to see a team fight. And Williamson's pitches it out to Denny, who tries to hurdle a man, actually steps on his back and runs forward before he's finally brought down.
And it'll be a pickup of about 2, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Pirates. As Pirates have really controlled the run game in this second half. That's partially because Centerburg has just been so efficient. They had that 44-yard touchdown pass, and they've just been able to just try to stall out this game a lot.
So a quick snap, missed tackle on Denny will allow him to gain a few more yards. It'll be a pickup of about, looks like 4, so it'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Denny on the carry, tackled by Ross.
So 3rd down and 4. Gonna go under 1 minute and 10 to go. Depending on when they snap this, I don't know. Really hard to know without a play clock how much time they have. They'll try to get up under it. They would probably need at least one more play, I would assume, to finish off this game, though I could be wrong.
And pitching things out, brought down in the backfield. It'll bring up 4th down and about 7.
So by the time they spot the ball,
4th down and 6 for the Pirates.
Be 4th down and 6. So you have 35 seconds to go, and this is probably the final play of the game, or at least
I would think so. After the game, be sure to stay with us as we bring you the MVP player, as well as the post-game show. And then, as always, join us later tonight around 11-ish for the Friday Night Pigskin, where we recap all of this week's football action. Williamson reversing things, gets the first down and more. The clock continuing to tick, and it looks like that will be the final play of this.
Still got 4 seconds. It's a
4
first
seconds.
down.
Okay, so they rule him out of bounds there.
It'll be a great pickup. Get a nice rush, but that will end it now.
So at the conclusion of this ball game now, Centerburg picks up the victory 33-6 over Cardington. Cardington able to avoid the shutout, but wish tonight would have been better for him. Stay with us for the MVP and the post-game show. Coming up next.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
We all need help sometimes dealing with everything life throws at us. As outdoorsmen, spending time in nature, hunting, fishing, and cooking with the buddies we love are great ways to reset and decompress. Man Therapy is a platform designed for men, by men, to help us sort through stress, anxiety, depression, or any other puzzles we're dealing with. Get a rundown of how you excel and where you can improve your mental health by taking Man Therapy's 20-point head inspection. It's free, it's anonymous, and it could be your first step towards becoming a happier, healthier man. Learn more at mantherapy.org.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
here with the OH Report, joining you live for the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation Man Therapy MVP Player of the Game. And it's none other than Miles Marshall. I mean, the guy had a 200-plus yard rushing game and 3 touchdowns to his record. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So coming into this game, I mean, you really wanted to make a difference, knowing that you're entering the late season, KMAC challenges. What does this game mean to you?
It means a lot because we were on the bottom seed, so now we're making a name for ourselves.
So continuing to fight, right?
Yeah.
Positioning yourself postseason. You know, you got a lot of challenges. How are you feeling about the competition you have ahead?
Feeling pretty good. Feel like we got it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the game plan or the mentality that coach is trying to get you into the locker room and through these games?
He likes us to get like confident in ourselves, basically.
Yeah.
And just play us.
Yeah, just playing your brand of football. Coming into this game, I mean, you were off to some pretty quick scores. Did you have a feeling this was going to happen, or are you just trying to play your game?
I just play my game.
Play your game?
Yeah.
As a sophomore, I mean, a lot of big plans for you. How are you feeling about the future of your career? What are you developing?
Pretty good. I'm developing a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
My brother again.
Your brother had a couple of touchdowns as well.
He did.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have him up. I think my crew's going to be here the last game of the week, so hopefully we'll have him up with the trio of touchdowns of his own. Miles Marshall, congratulations.
Thank
3
you.
rushing touchdowns and a huge victory over Cardington.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
We all need help sometimes dealing with everything life throws at us. As outdoorsmen, spending time in nature, hunting, fishing, and cooking with the buddies we love are great ways to reset and decompress. Man Therapy is a platform designed for men, by men, to help us sort through stress, anxiety, depression, or any other puzzles we're dealing with. Get a rundown of how you excel and where you can improve your mental health by taking Man Therapy's 20-point head inspection. It's free, it's anonymous, and it could be your first step towards becoming a happier, healthier man. Learn more at mantherapy.org.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
with the OH Report, joining you for the Morrow County Hospital post-game show. Centerburg taking the victory home tonight. They're going to move to 2-1 in the KMAC, 33-6 over Cardington. Cardington will move to 0-3 in the KMAC. And this contest, I mean, Centerburg pretty much ran away with it pretty early.
And they did, especially because of the running game. Miles Marshall, he'd have a 60-yard touchdown rush, then 75. He had over a 200-yard game, and then they were physical at the line. In that first half, they gave up only 41 total yards to the Pirates, and because of that, they was smooth sailing going into the second half. They didn't do a whole lot in terms of total yardage in that second half, but it was all Trojans football tonight.
Speaking of stats, let's take a look at our post-game stats here. Cardington with 6 first downs, 170 rushing yards, 0 passing yards for a total of 176 penalties, 45 penalty yards, and 1 turnover to their record. For Centerburg, they had 10 first downs, 293 rushing yards, 51 passing yards, 344 total yards, 8 penalties for a total of 85 penalty yards. 0 turnovers for them, though, so a bright spot there.
And we heard someone comment this might be the most penalties they've ever seen. I think that might be the most penalties I've ever seen, the most penalty yards combined between two teams.
So wrapping things up, I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsors very quickly before we sign off. First, I'd like to thank Webb's Marathon Automotive. Stop by Webb's Marathon to join the Webb's Rewards program, where you can earn dollars off fuel and free drinks and coffee. Go Trojans. Morrow County Hospital, providing great quality care locally so patients do not have to travel far to receive quality expert health care. The Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation and Man Therapy, so life hasn't been all sandalwood and sunshine lately. Visit mantherapy.org today and get your free head inspection to see if it's time for a checkup from the neck up. Men are better men when they're happy. Monarch Title Services, if you're selling or refinancing your real estate, you get to choose the title company. Why not support those who support the Trojans and close with confidence anytime, anywhere? Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen, baths, windows, and doors since 1970. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. Again, we thank all of our sponsors who support our live and free coverage of high school sports. Signing off, I'm your director and play-by-play commentator, Bryce Coder. Joined in the booth, as always, by Micah Flack on color commentary, and then joining us on camera is Chris Pomponio, doing a great job, as always. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a great night.